Hello there, everybody. How's it going? Hopefully, you're all doing very, very well. Welcome back to some more Senran Kagura Burst Basto. Sorry for the lack of headspace right here. I have my chair actually, pulled up to be pretty high. I like it when it's high, and even then, it's not that high. I feel like a giant in a small chair. I feel weird. Usually, streamers and YouTubers and people have like that typical like razor chair or whatever, the fucking cool ass gamer chair. I have a very normal budget level leather office chair, and I've had it since high school. Gosh, yeah, I've had this for a long time. And so the seat here looks perfect. It still looks in mint condition. It's the seat that looks really, really old. The ass part of the seat where it looks all like crumpled up and used up because, I sit in this place every single day. But this part in the back is still perfectly good. But yeah, welcome back to some more Senran Kagura Burst. We're about to play the game. I don't even have the game booted up. I still got OBS over here. I don't know if I've ever showed this to you guys, but this is Launchbox. I don't know if you guys know this. So if you guys have ever had a situation where like you guys just want like an emulator or like a launcher that has all of the launchers in the world. Like you have Steam, and then you have GOG, and then you have Origin and Epic Games, but then on top of that you have your emulators. You got Dolphin and NES and all of this other stuff like PPSSPP for PSP games. It's all over the place, right? And especially if you have like desktop shortcuts everywhere, then it can be kind of annoying to like have like your desktop full of like different shortcuts or have a folder just for that. And so I ended up buying this thing called Launchbox. And so it's a launcher for literally all of your games. It's like this file agnostic kind of launcher, right? Because there's some launchers like GOG Galaxy, right? That pretty much are just reserved for like, hey, this is just for Steam and GOG and like other like big brand kind of launchers, right? But this one, it's technically supposed to be mostly for your emulators and stuff like that, but it actually doesn't care what file you use, for a lot of the PC stuff, I can get like DRM-free kind of games, or games that I got off of itch.io, or games that I just bought in other places that are not tied to like Epic Games or Steam or whatever, right? Usually it's like some itch.io game that you just download it, like Undertale, you can get it, totally free and just have the files. Or like Deltarune Chapter 1 and stuff like that. But I have everything right here. I have, all of my Steam games. Here, Launchbox just considers it as like Windows, right? It doesn't specify whether it's Origin or Steam or Epic Games. Obviously, the vast majority of this is just Steam. But, obviously, if it's installed or not installed, it'll tell you. You obviously gotta be logged into all of your launchers, for any of this to work, right? But you can just log into all of your stuff just once, and then usually they have a setting of like as soon as you turn on your computer, it just automatically logs you in, and it just keep it minimized. And there we go. The only one that I haven't been able to do this for is with Amazon Games. You can import your Amazon Games stuff, but you gotta like turn on the launcher and like not like X out of it or anything. It doesn't stay on like the tray on the minimized Windows tray. You have to like have the window like present somewhere, which kind of defeats the purpose. But yeah, like RetroArch, they recently had an update where you could have all of your RetroArch stuff here on Launchbox too. But I got Nintendo 64, I got NES, I got all of my old GameCube games that I've passed over here. I got some Nintendo Switch stuff in here, some Nintendo Wii, PlayStation 1, a lot of PlayStation 1. PS3 is something that I've been messing around with. Here are all of the like PS3 exclusive games that I own that I wanted to kind of preserve for the future and stuff, because someday my PS3 is not going to work. Someday the PSN store will be shut down forever, and so there's a bunch of games that you're gonna miss out on, right? And so Marvel vs. Capcom 1, Marvel vs. Capcom 2, the PS3 version of Lumines. I got Azura's Wrath here with all the DLC. And this is another great thing, for Persona 4 Arena and Ultimax, like, and I can actually like bring in not just the game, but all of the DLC that I've gotten for it. The JoJo's Bizarre Adventure game that is no longer available. Street Fighter 3, Lollipop Chainsaw, just a bunch of like, remasters and just PS3 versions of stuff, you know, the Doom Classic Collection that still works really great. Yeah, so it's just been a lot of like preserving the past. Of course, a lot of Japan-only games that kind of have like English fan patches, alternate versions of like Final Fantasy IV, Final Fantasy VI that have like quality of life improvements and changes. Dragon Quest, obviously, and then I got all of my Nintendo DS games that I've had over the years that are now here on my computer as like ROMs. Game Boy games. Some of these I am kind of cheating. I am kind of downloading from the internet because stuff like Pocket Love 2, Picross 2, these are all like Japan exclusive games that never came out over here, but on top of that, they're like patched to be in English. So some of these I did, you know, download, but I don't condone it. If you can maybe be like me and maybe go on RetroArch, shove in those PS2 discs and just transfer over all of your old PS2 stuff, like all of this stuff that I have. I got the Shin Megami Tensei Nocturne, Digital Devil Saga. I also went through the trouble of, let's go to the Switch section over here. I went through the trouble of passing over SMT5, hey! But then I also got my PSP stuff. Really, really great. I love how it's all organized. It looks all really nice and cool, almost Netflix style. The cool thing is that you can have like a separate launcher, like an interface to kind of make it look like a console. Like you're on PS3 or PS4 or whatever. There's a bunch of custom themes that you can use, but you know, I kind of like, you know, this default one because then it doesn't go on full screen. It doesn't interrupt all the other stuff that you're doing. So I like this just fine, but in many occasions I do like bring up big box and just treat my computer like it's a console, and I can just launch all of this on the fly, and it's awesome. Now we're gonna go on to the 3DS section where I have all of my 3DS games and some Japan-only 3DS games that I had to get a hold of. Some digital-only titles that I had, like Sanrio Characters Picross. Yeah, the works. A whole bunch of stuff. Probably one of my favorite 3DS games out there that I spent such a long time playing with. 3DS, Picross 3D Run 2. And then I had Dragon Quest 11 in here too. Yeah. And so now, you can see right there, I got Senran Kagura 2 right here, and I got Senran Kagura Burst! So let's go ahead and click on the Senran Kagura Burst one. And we should be getting to the game. It's just gonna pop up. That's cool, interesting. There's a working emulator for the PS3, yes, and it works very, very well. It's called RPCS 3, I think. I mean, obviously, it depends on what kind of computer you have, how powerful it is. Mine is powerful enough to play a lot of the, like, 2D rendered stuff, fighting games. There's a lot of the bigger 3D rendered stuff that does kind of chug a little bit. For example, Azura's Wrath works, but like a 30 FPS. And, like, Infamous also works really well, depending on what graphics you're using. I tried to go for, like, OpenGL, and it didn't work. I switched it over to Vulkan, and it did work, but it only works in, like, 20 frames. If you're staring at a wall that has nothing on it, then, absolutely, it'll be 60. But if you're doing anything else, running around the city and stuff...
Marvelous AQL.
AQL. Why so sexy? Okay, I'm gonna bring down the volume because... There we go. Alright, now we're gonna start it off for real. Oh god, it's super duper loud on my headphones. Out of 100, I gotta bring it down to like 8. Because at like 10, it gets really loud. Let's see. Do I want to play full screen, or do I want to... Or do I want to put OBS on full screen? I guess I'll put it on full screen. It makes the screen of the game look really small, but hey. At least like that I can look at the chat and look at the internet connection and stuff like that, so... Like that, I'm not worried. Let's go to Heavy Joe Clandestine Girls Academy. But yeah, I kind of wanted to make a video on that, on Launchbox, just as is. Just to show it off, and maybe make a stream where I just play around with a bunch of different games and see how they launch and whatever. I have all of those games defaulted, well, the emulators defaulted to, like, putting every single game on full screen. So I would definitely have to set it up where, like, it just shows my PC screen and it just launches so that there's no problems, and I don't have to, like, quit out of something and make a window and make sure the window capture is working. But yeah. Anyway, moving on to chapter 4, Shifty Eyes, Heavy to Renovations, Defeat Hibari. So, I can only assume there's gonna be a lot of just bumping into the Hanzo girls again and fighting them again. I forget how this story goes at this point. I don't need people spoiling it for me in the chat, but, you know. I have a bit of a foggy memory of how this goes. Try to go full power, okay? No holding back. What do you think, I'm a Dragon Ball character? I can only work with the limitations of the game. I don't know what the fuck you mean. I don't know what fantasy world you're living in. We're just like, hey bro, remember to power up before you do the stream. No holding back. What are you talking about? Get real. Oh, and there she is. Stop being cringe, like Hibari here popping out of nowhere with her cringe anime eyes, bro. In this alternate reality, she's actually good for something. To transfer, sure. How casual she is about this. None of the depression from before. Well, you offered. Your body popping like a jack-in-the-box. Yeah, she's going, yo da yo, and popping up all happy. Yeah, I forget if this is just a ploy to get the, you know, to like screw them over or something. I can't remember. A highly oversimplified summary of what's going on with Hibari. You figure. Yeah, Hibari feels like a really weird character in this story. Yeah, even she's like creeped out. It's like, what? Why are you acting all weird? This is not how Hibari is. She just sounds more serious, less cutesy, and far more confident, as opposed to the Hibari that we all know. Where like she's like kind of like how Mariah is now, right? Constantly self-doubting, not thinking that she's up for the job, and leaving Hanzo because she just doesn't want to face the shame of her friends not thinking highly of her, even though they do. Hibari does quite a bit in this chapter. I figure, you know, considering that Asuka is the girl on the cover, and considering how Yumi is kind of like the main character now in the future games, it's really strange how a lot of these stories kind of deviate to being mostly about the more cutesy, childy locks kind of characters, you know? Like, a lot of the story focuses strangely on Hibari, and then on Mirai, and then on Nestable versus is mostly like Ryobi and Ryona's story. It's odd. The girls are is like 1 or 2 girls on the cover, and it's barely ever about them. It's kind of like when you're watching JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and it's not actually about JoJo, it's about some other character. Like, part 3 is like 90% Polnareff, and like the other 10% is sometimes Jotaro does something. Part 1 and part 2 of JoJo are the only JoJo arcs that are actually about JoJo. All of the other ones are essentially like, part 4 is like Koichi and Rohan's Bizarre Adventure. It might as well be Rohan's arc, you know? And then part 5 is not even about Giorno. It's like Bucciarati for the most part. Bucciarati and Mista. And then for part 6, well, actually, Jolene is in a lot of part 6, but considering how it ends, you'd say it's mostly Emporio's Bizarre Adventure. You know, Emporio versus the world. Yeah, there are a lot of JoJo arcs that are not actually about the main character. And I always find that really strange. When you have a protagonist and the protagonist is not actually the protagonist. It's like the most random, like, whatever character gets, like, all of the focus. Or, like, the comedy relief character that's not really meant to be taken seriously gets all the glory. I don't know. And Senran Kagura is very similar. a lot of focusing on Hibari, a lot of focusing on Mirai, a lot of focusing on Ryobi and Riona, a lot of focusing on, like in Estimable versus like Miyabi, right? Miyabi and Imu. It's just really odd. I guess you can't really fault an artist or an author for wanting to focus on other characters, right? But wouldn't that be like a bit of a backhanded compliment, right? To be like, yeah, you want to focus on other characters just because you can't come up with anything interesting for the main protagonist of the story, right? That's funny because I see some people say Yumi stole the spotlight from Asuka. Well, I think Hibari and Mirai is stealing the spotlight from everybody in this game. If you want to talk about Shinobi versus, then yeah, I'd say so. And then in Estimable versus, they do make that joke in one of the extra, like, DLC missions. Asuka literally just goes on an epic YouTube rant about how everything is about Yumi. And that she's supposed to be the hero. But it really depends on the game, because if you want to talk about Estimable versus, I wouldn't say that Yumi even steals the show there. I'd say that Ryobi, Riona, Miyabi, like everybody from New Heavy Joe steals the spotlight there, because the story is mostly about them, about that one team. And everybody else just kind of hangs out. I know you have a bit of a chapter, you have a story bit about Kurakage, towards the end of Estimable versus, but they're kind of just repeating the same thing that they did in Shinobi versus, where they say goodbye to Kurakage and come to terms with losing him and stuff. They're kind of retreading old ground there. One of my puppets. I don't know what volume level I should have for my mic, because I've noticed that I've been peaking a lot. But I'm not really talking very loud. I'm talking just in my normal tone of voice, and I'm like, there's green, yellow, and red, and my default is going like halfway through the yellow, and sometimes going to the red. I just feel bad, and although I get paranoid and I listen to it back on my headphones, and it doesn't sound that bad, but, you know, better safe than blessing your ears with my voice.
まっすぐで曇りのない戦いだったわ。ひばりは嘘をついていない。本当にヘビ女に転校したいのね。
Hey, you let me punch you a lot, so you want to transfer?
ひばり、はるかさんと一緒に頑張りたいの。
Your side specifically.
なんてけなげで可愛いの。もう抱きしめたい。
What a really easy way to manipulate somebody so that you can join their side and then hightail it with the super duper ninja art scroll. Definitely taking advantage of the cutesiness here.
ちょっと待って。はい、これ。
It's a bomb. Explodes.
これって半蔵の超秘伝忍法書？
Yeah, just give it to her.
はるかさん以外の人たちにも信用してもらいたくて。
Okay. Why did they just, like, black fade out to that? I mean, if you want to be lazy with it, you could have just done it like how RPGs do it, where, like, a character just, like, shoot, just, like, walks in front of a character and then steps back, and that kind of looks like they gave him something. Why couldn't just take the Hibari thing and just pan it in front of Haruka and then pan it back? And there we go. Oh my god, you're giving me this? Why black fade out?
心よくひばりを迎えてくれるわ。よかった。はるかさん、これからよろしくね。ひばり、ようこそヘビ女子学園へ。歓迎するわ。決めたわよ。
I'm glad that I can't remember what the story is like. I mean, obviously she's gonna go back to Hanzo, and there's gonna be the final battle between Haruka and Hibari in the last chapter, right? I just forget what happens in between. I guess this is all just a trick or something, I don't know. The spotlight stealing. The Super Secret Ninja Art Scroll that Hibari brought to us is indeed the genuine article, but I'm left wondering how it could have been taken so easily. Why did Hibari want to transfer here? I don't exactly believe her story, but still. Oh, and she's here with, like, the Hanzo uniform. It would have been cool to see her with the Heavy Joe outfit. Hope everyone here, Heavy Joe will be nice. I'm gonna try my best to fit in. Well, they're evil shinobi, so I don't know. Someone with emotions betrayed her friends and switched to a school run by her enemies. I really don't get how emotions are supposed to work. I don't know if emotions has anything to do with it. All Mistress Hark talks about anymore is Hibari this, Hibari that. Hibari's so cute, it's awful. Why, you getting jealous? Oh, wait. Hibari said she likes bean sprouts. Ergo, she must be a good person. Logic. Alright. Now let's listen to what Haruka has to say. Hibari is so very cute. Oh, you're using her as like a little pet. You just love her just for looking. They kept the details? Like what? Call me the Sprout. Oh, Sprout Mask? Some may not know of me, but I danced today, my black hair fluttering. They call me BC Mask. KP Mask in Japanese. I'm probably missing something there, but I'm still not aware of why they changed it. I guess BC Mask for like black C. I don't know what the C would stand for. K maybe for Kudo. I don't know. Black hair. I don't know. Let's see. Oh, story segment. Big story segment. All right. So again, in the interest of not having a lot of originality and just copy pasting whatever the other team does, Yomi has her own like superhero kind of thing, as opposed to just letting KP Mask be KP Mask. Now Yomi has to be Sprout Mask, and you know, and in Estival versus they expanded and there's like 5 different characters that have like different things. But whatever, it was fine. It was funny. The city built. So this is a Yomi mission, I'm pretty sure. The city buildings are said to be the symbol of the nation's wealth, but walk not 10 minutes away and the slums spread out before you. Any stranger could show up with only the clothes on his back and be welcome to this shanty town. The dirt road that leads from the entrance to called Unemployment Street. You should check out Transformers Kiss players. Okay, we're not talking about Transformers, but fine. The dirt road that leads, this is a really great reminder for me to tell people. I added some rules in the description of the stream. Every single stream that I'm gonna do from now on is gonna have a bunch of rules copy-pasted onto them. I recommend that you read them. I know you won't, but read them. And then don't be surprised if I ignore some comments. But yeah, I have spoken. I basically just took the Hololive rule set, Hololive English rule set, and just copy-pasted it onto mine with some expansion of my own. So, yeah, read those. And one of those is, like, please, for the love of fucking God, please try to stay as on topic as possible. If I'm being boring, you can just tell me that I'm boring. And if you want to talk about, if you'd rather talk about something else than to be here in the stream, then be honest and say that and not just be off topic just because you fucking feel like it, you know? Also, yeah, Kiss, what do I mean Kiss players? Sounds like a sexy anime girl idol spin-off of Transformers, but whatever. The dirt road that leads from the entrance is called Unemployment Street. Very on the nose there. Took a few steps in and I could smell rotting bananas. It's a nice smell. No, rotting bananas is awful, especially with the flies that gather. It really makes you feel at home. Walk down Unemployment Street and you'll come to a group of classy houses made from sheet metal. People in the slums call this area Beverly Hills. Oh? Yes, Beverly Hills. It even smells like La Dolce Vita. Jeez. There's the smell of instant ramen being cooked. Oh, yeah. Now, if you really want to talk about Beverly Hills or LA or Hollywood or anything, yeah, you need to... There's not really the smell of La Dolce Vita, but rather the smell of, like, homeless people shitting themselves on the street and drug addicts trying to get you to, you know, pay for their next shot. Yeah, no. It's not the glamorous place that people make it out to be. It's actually one of the worst places. It's dirty and smelly, and everything is too expensive, and there's a lot of homeless people, and some of those homeless people are actors that want to get a job and get rejected every time. Millions of movies being shot all at once everywhere. Yeah, no, it's not a nice place. I hate LA. I get caught up on the aroma of ramen when I hear the sound of children playing from somewhere in the distance. The voices are coming from Central Park. Just wanted to be talk about more. Okay, but like, just bringing a random bullshit. Check this other anime out. I'm like, okay, whatever. Like, I'm not here for your receptacle to validate the thing that I like. right? Or like, I want you to watch this, I want you to watch that. Like, I don't necessarily want the chat to devolve into just like people requesting me to watch something or to see something or to do thing that I like. Just like, who do you think I am? I'm not a reflection of you. Central Park, which is one, the main recreational area of the slums is called. I wonder what's going on. Let's take a look and see. A woman clad in a kimono and a mask stands on the stage at the center of the plaza. It's interesting that they say kimono, because usually when KP Mask is represented in like the games or in New Link and stuff, it's just the regular Hanzo uniform. They don't really go through the trouble of putting her in a kimono or anything. It's just like her uniform or whatever she's wearing. The mask is mostly the thing. And of course, to give it away, the Hanzo Ninja Room music is playing while this is happening, so you already know who this is. The mask was handmade to look like some kind of bird. Probably a swallow, I guess. It appears to be quite a hit with the children. Super high-pitched Chikariga. The masked woman begins acting like a child. I'm pretty sure that's her doing the voice. I'll give you some money, little miss, so let's get over there. She then switched to the role of a creepy old man. Yeah, this is her voice acting all of this. She can apparently act multiple roles. Quickly shifting into a powerful voice, she presses play on an old cassette player. A fast-paced Japanese instrumental begins to play. The woman strikes a pose at center stage. I dance today, my black hair fluttering, call me BC Mask or KP Mask. KP was already 2 English letters, I don't know why they changed it for other 2 English letters, but fine. Don't teach anybody Japanese, don't teach anybody about other culture, just keep it American. I refuse to say BC. KP Mask starts to beat up the creepy old man. From KP Mask to the old man to a little girl back to KP Mask. Look at me and then look over there, look back at me. She shifts her position with dizzying speed, keeping up the play by herself. It's not a good performance by any means. The acting falls far short of what professionals typically offer. It's not Cirque du Soleil or anything. Amateur production or not, however, the children's eyes are glued to KP Mask. Okay, that was the song that they play when you die in a mission. The end of the play is met with a wave of applause and cheering. All of the children are smiling, never seen such happy expressions. KP Mask hands out candy to the children, then dashes off stage. I'll be back again, so be good children in the meantime, okay? I quietly follow KP Mask. KP Mask is surprisingly fast, and I have to run at full speed to avoid losing sight of her. She's as fast as a shinobi student. Who on earth is she? Maybe she's an actual superhero for realsies. She stops in front of Town Hall and drops an envelope into the mailbox. When she leaves, I stick my hand into the mailbox, sure. Let's see, on the envelope is written donation of 30,000 yen. She puts on a show, gives out candy, and even donates money to help the slums. I'm consumed with a desire to thank her, and kiss her, and hug her. And how you're so much more different than that other person that I hate. I exit the slums only to find KP Mask in the shades of a tree nearby. She just removed the mask and placed it in her bag. I move in front of her to catch a glimpse of her face. Huh? I see her features, then I'm suddenly struck dumb. I'm struck stupid. KP Mask is really... Ojo-sama? Yomi-san? Yeah, she just realized that Batman is Bruce Wayne. Oh my god, it can't be. Mortifying. This is mortifying. This is Yomi Bean. This is Yomi Bean so stupid. I remember this part of the story being cool, but also like, how stupid must you be? Because then she like gaslights herself to be like, no, this is some ploy. This is some trick. She just won't admit it. I've never been so humiliated. KP Mask is the little princess. I thought I must be such a good person under the mask. What a ludicrous notion. Yes, how dare you donate 30,000 yen to charity? At my harsh tone, the little princess cast her gaze downward.
それにしてもパフォーマンスが好きなところはまさにあの父にしてこの子ありですね。
Beyond corrupt.
大体 KP 仮面って何ですの？
I'm glad Yomi changes after this. Yeah.
それは
The princess fidgets, unable to reply.
KP 仮面は黒髪パッツン仮面のことです。
Black hair with cropped straight bangs. Oh, black hair cropped. Okay. Yeah, kurokami. Yeah, alright. Yeah.
はあ？
Right, so too. Yeah, so they changed it to BC just to have it make sense in English, but like, still. Yeah, KP comment. Like, the thing is like, yeah, whatever. It makes sense when they explain it. I'll admit it. But like, at the same time, like, this is such an unapologetically Japanese game, so like, why bother changing stuff like this? Like, it just sounds more fun when you just keep it like that. Whatever. If this was a Yakuza game, this would be, the localization would be way different. I'm taking it back at the sheer lameness of the name. If this was an Atlas game, this would be way different too. I probably like Senran Kagura better, text-wise, if it was localized by Atlas instead of localized by Sega, you know? As opposed to, Xseed. And, NIS America's not much better. Hey, sorry I'm late. Hey, Hypno, how's it going? Hypno like the Pokemon? Taking it back at the sheer lameness of the name. It was Katsuragi who came up with the name. I tune out her explosion. I tune out her mansplaining immediately. I'm not interested in whatever stupid reason she has.
センスのなさはいいとしましょう。でも寄付に関しては言語道断ですわ。お金持ちのお嬢様がたった3万3000万かと思いきやたったそれっぽっち偉そうに封筒に包んで。
I absolutely fucking hate it when people do this. When they have that, whenever they shit on rich people and they say, "Oh, you only donated 1 million? You have how many? Your net worth is 7 billion and only 1 million?" Like they complain that they gave a fuck ton of money to like charity or something. It's like you could feed so many people with that money. It's like, okay, so like Elon Musk doesn't eat. Elon Musk doesn't have like 1 million like businesses to pay for. He doesn't have a family and like 6 fucking kids to feed. Like just he doesn't have a house. Like just they talk about these rich people like they don't have their own expenses, big expenses that probably involve paying millions of dollars per month to keep all of that stuff afloat, right? But like no, if you have the money, then their fucking genius logic is to just give away all of it because I guess people are just born with lots of money. It's like, that is so, it makes you want to slap people in the face when people are like that. It's like, 1 million? Why not 10 million? It's like, bitch, I could have given you nothing, you know? You could have gotten nothing. But, you know, some people donate so much, and you're still fucking complaining. Fuck you. I take all of my pent-up aggression and unleash it on my words. It's like, what, would it make your ego feel better if she just gave nothing? Like, seriously. The princess says nothing in retaliation as I prepare to deliver my final verbal assault. After she donated 30,000 fucking yen. What is that, like, $300? And, like, this is assuming that she does this regularly, right? You know? This is not, like, a one-time thing. We're assuming that she comes here often and does this. So, like, you're not even factoring in all the other money that you didn't see her donate. The cold-heartedness of the wealthy can be matched only by my ruthlessness.
そもそも寄付でしたら私もしていますの。いくらだと思われまして？月額30万円。30万円ですわよ。学校の奨励金を全部寄付しているんです。
Her entire school stipend. Alright, fine. But just because you do it in one way, it doesn't mean that everybody has to do it in the same way. Nobody can live poor like you. Not everybody can live that way. You have some weird, like, fucked up obsession with this kind of thing, and so you're okay with living with nothing. But, like, other people can't live like that. You don't have a family, you don't have kids they have to fucking feed and get through college, you know? So don't get all high and mighty on us. If going without meant I could make sure that one less child would starve. I mean, yes, I get it. This is, like, done with nothing but good intentions, but, like, you gotta take care of yourself before you can take care of others. I wouldn't mind being broke if it meant helping them. Alright, cool, but you already have your own system, you know, of survival. Not everybody can be like that. And her, Ikariga, is like so, like just chill about this. It's like, alright, fine, she just takes it. If it were me, I'd just fucking slap her around and say, okay, I grab her fucking head and say, okay, listen to me, you little shit. I'm doing what I can, okay? I've seen people complain on Twitter about Mr. Beast spending his money on a Squid Game video instead of donating. Yeah, it's fucking stupid, because you know something that Mr. Beast also does? Mr. Beast has like a whole other secondary channel that is all about like donating and giving food to like homeless people and stuff. And he never talks about it because it's something that he just wants to do out of his own like kind soul. He does it because he just wants to do it, and he doesn't show it off. If it was Logan Paul doing that, he'd have like 20 videos going, "What's up, bro? We're giving away to those poor people. Yo, bro! Food for the kids, bro! Donate to my crypto coin and we're gonna save the kids!" And turns out it's some fucking pump and dump scam, you know? Where like he benefits and, oh, are the kids being saved? No, never. But like Mr. Beast, very quietly, like a shinobi in the shadows, he does all of this other philanthropy stuff and nobody has to know about it. And just knowing that he's doing it and that he's running all that stuff is great. But no, same bullshit as here. Oh, you spent all this money. You could feed literally 5 million POCs with that money. It's like, all right, I don't see you fucking doing anything. It's really easy to complain, but like, oh, when you gotta put your money where your mouth is, they're like, oh, I'm a little short on money right now. That kind of stuff. So like, no. I get the intention, but Mr. Beast is absolutely the wrong target for that. You're barking up the wrong tree. If you want to complain to anybody, complain to all of these crypto scammers that like suck money off of children and then they just run away with all the money, like the Save the Kids thing or the Dink Doink shitcoin or whatever. All of these crypto scams. Say that, oh, with all that money, maybe we can donate it to charity, right? You're like getting all this money and reselling it, pump and dump and all this stuff, right? Have it go to a good place. But no. And the nicest guy, Mr. Beast, no, they shit on them. So fuck him. She sighs as she speaks. I wanted to do something to help. There we go. She was inspired by Yomi. With that, NFTs as well. NFTs are stupid. You're literally spending money on nothing. Just so you can like own a picture of like Crash Bandicoot shitting on the toilet or something. But yeah. With that, she drops feebly to her knees and lowers her head to the ground. I'm sort of new to the anime-style game community, and I'm wondering what this game is about. Well, it doesn't have to be a community thing. It doesn't have to be that serious. I'm a new member of this community. Just, that's a whole rant in and of itself. But, I fucking hate it when everything has to be a community. You can, like, clip your nails and say, well, the nail-clipping community tells me I gotta do it. Like, just do things. It's fine to just do things and enjoy them. They don't have to be a anime-style game community. You can just like games, and this game happens to be an anime game. So Senran Kagura is a game about ninjas. Ninjas that belong into different, like, schools. And so all of these schools abide by different senses of morality, right? So there's good shinobi and evil shinobi. And, this entire story essentially plays around with that gray middle ground of, like, you know, these two sides really aren't that different, right? The evil shinobi are kind of just evil by name. But in actuality, they're kind of like not that bad. And then the good shinobi, well, even though they're good and they work for the government, that doesn't mean that the government isn't gonna make them do shady, terrible stuff, right? And they're good by name, but the good comes out of their individual hearts and not because that's the label that they have, right? And so they're kind of playing around with those concepts. And right now, we're seeing an evil shinobi and a good shinobi clash. Because there's one shinobi here that takes pride in being poor. And just hates rich people because they think that they're like these all high and mighty and all that stuff. And then Ikariga, this other rich person, is actually like helping poor people and donating money. And this other motherfucker, idiot Yomi, isn't having any of it. She thinks it's like you know, just a ploy or like it's insincere or whatever, and so she's shitting on her for this. What are you trying to pull now? She's kneeling? The princess is setting aside her pride and kneeling before me. I have to admit, I'm a bit astonished. Yeah, and this is not even like beef with Ikaruga, right? This is beef with her dad. So like, Yomi is like making Ikaruga feel bad for something that really has nothing to do with her. It's like her dad's beef, not her. I'm forced to bite down on my roaring emotions. I'm not fond of people who think that saying I'm sorry fixes everything. Well, what can she do? It's not even her fault. She's not even supposed to apologize to you, you fucking bitch. But she's doing it anyway. That's how nice she is. In fact, I've always regarded the urge to apologize with deep suspicion. Oh, great. You'd be perfect for Twitter, where people being nice is a cause for suspicion and not a cause for, like, you know, being nice back to them. You can bow your head and still be laughing in your heart. Oh, great. You see, this is a lot about you than it does about anyone else. The fact that this is what's going through your head and assuming that that's everyone else just to, like, reassure that what you believe is not wrong. I'm sure all rich people just do that. Ugh. This is like Nami assuming terrible things about pirates, right? It's like, oh yeah, Luffy, he's just a pirate. He's just gonna turn tail and run the moment he has the chance. He's just gonna throw me away like everyone else. So fuck him, I'm taking a ship and I'm leaving to see Arlong, right? She still kneels with her brow to the ground, not moving a muscle. As I watch her, I can't help thinking of her BC mask / KP mask performance. The children really did look happy. They were all truly enjoying the performance. Can such a rotten person really give such joy to children? God, you're so mean. Of course not. Children are pure and honest beings. They can see right through people who mean them harm, which is exactly why they were having such a great time and being happy. Because she's evil! But if that's the case, what's going through the princess's mind? I grind my teeth as I feel myself welling up. The image of the princess kneeling begins to blur and cloud over my vision. Not fair, not fair, not fair. You already have money. You can't have a good heart too. Yeah, she can't admit it. She's in denial. My emotions suddenly burst forth. Oh god. I perform a shinobi transformation and swing my sword down at her. But the princess does not even react. With only a few inches from the princess's head, only my sword digs deeply into the ground. I inhale sharply, attempting to put my breathing and mood in order. There are so many things I want to say to her. How long do you think you'll stream for today? I always stream for around 2 hours. Sometimes I go a little bit over time, like 2.5 hours, and at the most 3 hours. But you can almost always guarantee that I'm gonna do 2 hours. That's mostly because I'm a busy person that has a lot going on, so I can't stay here for like 12 hours. And also, I want to respect your time, and I don't want to have you guys sitting here for like 7 hours every day just watching me play a video game and be unfunny, or be a ranting mess like how I am every day. So, you know, it doesn't take too much time away from me, and it doesn't take too much time away from you guys. Because to me, 1 hour feels way too short. That's like nothing. If I'm gonna do 1 hour, I might as well just record a video and edit it down to like 20 minutes, right? But, to me, 2 hours is like a good, like, middle ground between, you know, it's a nice long while, but it's not like you're not binging something, right? So 2 to 2.5 hours, somewhere around there. And because they're so short, I can do them every day. So, you know, it just takes a little bit, it just takes a couple hours out of my day, and it doesn't put that big of a dent in my schedule. And even then, it still takes away from other stuff, but says who, Yummy? But yeah, you should assume that every stream that I do is 2 hours, unless you can clearly see me going for longer. The length should be obvious, depending on whether I stop at 2 hours or I don't. But yeah, 9 times out of 10, it's gonna be 2 hours. I begin babbling all of my deepest feelings. I unleash all of the sadness and anger I've been holding back for all of these years.
お嬢様には絶対にわからない。貧民街の人にヘビ地を紹介してもらうまで、私がどんな気持ちで生きてきたのか。
When do you think you'll do the after game chat thing? Whenever I feel like it's a good stopping point for the game. If there's a mission that I do and I feel like I'm good, I'll just, you know, I'll switch over to this camera and I'll just shoot the shit with you guys. With my bed actually made. I always have my bed as like a fucking mess. But now, I actually washed the sheets, I washed the blanket, I washed the pillow coverings and stuff, threw them into the washing machine, so it's nice and clean now and nice and well organized. Just for today, because I know that tomorrow forward, it's gonna be a mess again, so, but yeah, there's no set formal schedule to any of this. A lot of it is, you're gonna come to find out that most of the things that I do, both for videos and for streams, are based entirely on a whenever the fuck I feel like it kind of basis. Because I am not making a lot of money off of YouTube. I don't do this as a living. This is not my full-time job. So, unless I have like 100,000 subscribers and I'm making money, good money off of this, who fucking cares? I'll do whatever I want, and there's nothing you can do to stop me. But yeah. What I usually do is that I have like the post-game kind of chatter later on, but that's just something that kind of happened naturally as opposed to something that I like calculated to have, you know, on purpose. Your gameplay is entertaining, but I like how you actually give time to interact with viewers. I think it's cool to have like a little bit of a chat, like a post-stream kind of chat. But yeah. The tears threatened to spill from my eyes.
私は両親を大好きだった両親を恨んで生きてきたのです。恨むしかなかったから、恨みをバネにして生きていくしかなかったから。
Before I realize it, she's crying right along with me. Her large black eyes begin to cloud over like crystals.
違ったんです。両親は私を捨てたわけではありませんでした。両親は命を切り売りしてまで私の将来のためにお金を残してくれたのです。そんな。
And didn't you, like, give all that money away, you fucking moron? Her mouth finally opens. A tear traces its way down her cheek.
全て遅かったのです。両親に感謝したくても、両親に疑ったことを詫びたくても、全てが遅かったのです。お父さんとお母さんは死んでしまったのだから。
In my fury, I kick away the princess's bag. Why is it that some families have money and others don't? Still crying, I grasp her shoulders and begin shaking her. I shake her as hard as I can over and over. As I scream, I catch sight of a scroll rolled out on the ground. It must have been in her bag. I pick it up and open it. The princess lets out a small exclamation, but I still look at the scroll. Her entire family tree is detailed on it. The scroll reveals a shocking truth to me. The princess was adopted. She nods at me slightly. I wish we got more visual representation of these scenes instead of just a wall of text. I would absolutely love that. Especially when there's an anime series that doesn't show any of this stuff. Yeah. At least a picture or something, right? Some doodles, some stick figures. I'm suddenly reminded of the eating contest. That man Murasame, his cold attitude toward her must have been because she's not his bloodkin. Maybe she didn't have such a peaceful, happy childhood after all. After you have filled in my arbitrary, list of requirements, Now your opinion matters to me.
あなたに言い訳など意味がありません。
I can provide no excuse that would be meaningful to you. Yeah, Yomi is so deeply scarred by her past that I don't think anything would be good enough for her. She already does a good enough job at gaslighting herself whenever she hears something that she doesn't want to hear anyways, so... Ikariga knows this. She said, well, whatever excuse I give, it's just gonna piss you off even more. And you're just gonna convince yourself in your head that this is just like me fucking with you. Just like all the people on Twitter that complain about rich people actually using their money and giving it away to people that need it, and then complaining that is not enough. With this, she again puts her brow to the ground. I had it completely wrong. She hadn't discarded her pride by prostrating herself. Quite the opposite. She was proud in her prostration, not asking for simple forgiveness at all. All the wealthy are my enemies. I labeled them a target for my hatred, and I lived with that ever since. Even recognizing now that my path may be twisted, it is not that easy to change. Says the girl that pretty much changes immediately in the next game. However, I silently hold out my right hand.
もう結構です。お立ちください。
She looks up at me and gingerly takes my hand. I suddenly realized something I had taken for granted. Her hands were warm. Blood scarcely flows through the veins of the wrist. This is funny. That had always been my impression. But I was wrong. She had a tender warmth. I pulled her to her feet. Her face was stained with tears and mud.
お嬢様、ひどい顔ですね。ええ、でも、ヨミさんも同じですよ。
We exchanged a quick glance and suddenly burst into laughter. I really like that they patched things up by talking it out rather than fighting. Yeah, this could easily have been a boss battle, right? We laughed so hard the tears began to stream again. And yet we're still laughing. Laughing, crying, laughing again.
金持ちは嫌いです。でも、お嬢様とは仲良くなれるかもしれません。
And even with this, I think the story could be even more interesting if it's contrasted. Like, if, like, Murasame, like, showed off, you know, how rich he was or whatever, to really, like, nail in why Yomi hates rich people, and then making it even tougher to like Ikariga because Murasame would be a family member. Because we never really, see what Yomi would actually do if there really was, like, some piece of shit rich guy, like Dogen, right? How she will react against someone like that, right? The only time that we really see this be tested is when she's with Ikariga, who is like a wrong target for that because she's a really nice person that doesn't really flaunt wealth at all. As I say this, her face changes into a small frown. Could you forgive my hypocrisy?
私は、お嬢様の行いを偽善とは思いません。
My heart's been consumed with hatred for the wealthy for as long as I can remember. I feel my heart begin to lighten again. All thanks to a rich person. Life truly is mysterious. If this was the Grinch, it'd be like, Yomi's heart grew 4 sizes that day.
偽善とは思いませんが、それでもお嬢様がお気にするのなら、私はこう言いましょう。偽善も善のうちです。
Hypocrisy has its merits. Yeah. Wasn't there like a band that said something similar? I gotta go, but I'll be back in around half an hour. Fine, we'll still be here in half an hour, so yeah. See you later. Yeah, but wasn't there a band that says something similar? I think it was like the Beastie Boys or something. Where like where, you know, obviously, they had music that was, like, really, like, crass and rebellious and all that kind of stuff. And I think they went on to make music that was a little softer, or I think they were, like, apologizing for certain lyrics or certain things that they said. And I think somebody was giving them shit of, like, oh, you were this way before, and now you're this. Now you're doing things differently now. Isn't that a little hypocritical? And I think one of the dead members, I think, said, like, I'd rather be like a hypocrite and change than to be, like, consistent and just be the same forever or something like that. Like, I'd rather be contradictory and actually change and grow and do things differently or to make amends for whatever mistakes were made. I'd rather look like that than to, like, just be consistent and still have people, like, you know, and keep making the same mistakes, right? Like, people confuse growth and change and development. They confuse all of that with just being a hypocrite. They think that somebody just doing a thing that is different from the other thing that you saw before is being a hypocrite. And I think you can't get stupider than that. That's kind of what they mean. Hypocrisy has merits, and that, yeah, you know, you can kind of, like, backpedal or do the opposite of what you were intending to do. But that, it really depends on what it is that you're actually doing, right? If that hypocrisy is giving money to rich people and giving to charity when you said that you wouldn't, I'd say that's pretty good, right? I wouldn't shit on you for being a hypocrite because that's a good kind of hypocrisy. That means that minds and hearts were changed, right? I wouldn't shit on somebody for doing that. I hold out my right hand to her again. She gives another little smile and takes my hand. Why are they transformed? This time is just a shake. Look at that. Missions may dictate that we fight again. Certainly she hasn't forgotten this. That's why we'll let the handshake linger for a while. Each feeling the warmth of the other. Ah, it's cool seeing this full image. Good and evil. Together. Are they gonna fight here? Well. Oh, there we go. We're gonna beat people up. Land sharks.
貧民街のあちこちで暴れて土地を安く買い叩こうとしているのです。なんですって？それは許せません。もちろん一人残らず追い払います。ヤミさん、私にも手伝わせてください。え？お願いします。あなたの力になりたいのです。
The inspirational music.
わかりました。お嬢様、力を貸してください。ええ、任せてください。
There we go. Both of them in the same pose. Alright, cool. So that's the instrumental version of the opening song for Skirting Shadows, I think. That was the background. There we go. Okay, this is gonna be a generalized fuck everybody up kind of thing. I was told not to hold back, right? I mean, maybe this is what you wanted? I don't know if that means anything to you. I don't know why you requested that out of me today specifically, but okay. Fucking weirdo, but fine. But I guess we're gonna... I really like this location. Yeah, the slums where all the poor people are at. How often do you see this rendered in 3D as a level? Never. I think it's just, I think it's just in this game, right? It's not in the remake, it's not in an S-Double versus as like a spare level or anything. It's nowhere, it's just here. It adds to the world to be able to have this kind of area here. To be able to actually see the slums as opposed to just like a picture in the background of a dialogue scene. What is your least favorite anime trope? I don't know, man. I guess just like forced romance where it doesn't make sense. But I wouldn't say that's specific to anime. I would say that's specific to just storytelling in general. Any trope that I don't like in anime is probably a trope that I don't like anywhere else. For me, romance scenes and people falling in love over the course of like 90 minutes, to me has always been kind of shitty. It doesn't really make sense to me. Because it usually involves being in like death-defying adventures. and then by the end of it, you're like kissing with somebody. It's like, this is not how you're going to spend your life with this person. If you're really going to have a relationship with them, you're going to be living in the same house together. You're going to need to know how this person shits and eats, you know? Who knows? Maybe outside of this, like, Indiana Jones adventure, maybe they're really boring, right? Or maybe they, because they're in adventures all the time, they love getting in trouble, and it's dangerous and stressful, you know? And you're always worried about them, and you can't keep living your life that way, right? And stuff like that. And, yeah, I don't know. I really don't know what to tell you what my least favorite one is. It's one of those things where I don't really know until I see it, right? I don't know, does filler count? Where, like, there's too many fucking flashbacks of information that you already know? That's something that I would really say about anime. Not really for manga all that often, but I would definitely for anime. Because anime has to abide by the television standards and having every episode be 20 minutes. And then the company itself kind of being condescending to their audience and just thinking that they have to remind them of everything all the time. And so they got to do flashback after flashback. And, like, they can talk in, like, a paragraph, and in that paragraph, there's, like, 3 different lines kind of stating the exact same thing. Repeating information that we already know, stuff like that. Just lazy writing. An anime episode that could be 5 minutes, that's 20 instead, because they gotta pad it out, you know? If it was a web series instead of, or a Netflix show instead of a television thing, then the episodes could be as long or as short as as you would want them to be, you know? But because there's a lot of production companies that live by this standardized kind of format, and they can't really do things in the way that they want. So, like, sometimes it's not even a matter of being condescending or thinking that the audience is stupid or anything. Sometimes the creators are like, what the fuck? You know, the anime is not done, you know, covering this part of the manga. Like, we're only, like, 3 chapters behind from the manga, and we need to make time so that the manga has more chapters so we can keep adapting that. And that's where all of the flashbacks and the filler episodes come in, because you gotta, like, catch up, right? But yeah. Dread, hello. Welcome to the stream. I like your, what is that? A Love Live? A Love Live profile picture? New picture, new music track, new everything. You get a music track, and you get a music track. Everybody get a music track. That should be all of the generic thugs that we beat up. Arigato. Oh, you look worried. You got some shit in your hair. Let me get it. Yeah. Could we, like, make out just for, like, 5 minutes? Real quick? Can we be friends for, like, 5 minutes? Just 5, please. Am I too poor for you? I love Yumi, the best waifu. Well, sucks that she's not in this game. We're playing the game before the new protagonist came into existence. Yeah, there we go. Call me by my name. Of course. Ikaruga-san. Oh, there we go. And they lived happily ever after, poor, living in the slums. But yeah, they're gonna have to fight again at some point. Perhaps I'll go and play with Hibari today. Oh, more playing with Hibari. Mr. Haruka barely pays me any attention anymore. I'm not saying I'm lonely or anything, though. Perish the thought. No, I didn't want to switch characters. I want to talk to Hibari. Come on. I don't want to get stuck here. There, Homura. Haruka's been acting a little strangely as of late. Just obsessing over Hibari. Nah, is that really all that strange? I'm going on a date with Haruka again today. This is gonna be fun. Yeah, it's, Hibari's acting weird. Something has felt odd about the ninja room as of late. And it's because of Hibari coming in here to sabotage. Glad Haruka seems to be enjoying herself. Something on Mariah is not looking happy. Something on Mariah not looking happy bugs me though. Gosh. I know how to read. I know words. Don't at me. Library, dressing room. Oh, we unlocked more stuff, right? So let's see. Okay, come on. There we go. Citra-kun, you can do it. Gambare Citra-kun. Alright, a sleep shirt. A bodacious bunny! Oh boy. I'm assuming the accessory is, what I think it is. There we go, bunny ears. Perfect. Nothing needs to be changed here. This is exactly as how things should be. The shinobi outfit is still the maid outfit. Shrine outfit. Magical girl. Habijo. Alright. I don't see how this could be any better. I love how they keep the details. Hibari's actually here in the ninja room instead of not appearing at all. She was already here, yeah. Changey this. Should I change anyone else's outfit? Now that Yomi has the maid outfit. Okay, so Haruka has her default transformation outfit, I think. Let's just check everybody. I can't remember what everyone has. I'm gonna keep this. It's mostly the transformation that I want to look at. Alright, so she has... This is fine. And then, yeah, the swimsuit. And then she has this. I can leave the default in there. Change it up a little bit. And then change the character. Have a Mirai. Ba-da-dum. So Mariah has this, and then she has the magical girl outfit, right? So we don't have to change that. Alright, have a Hikage. So she has that, and then what else? I mean, we can do something different and give her this. Not the best because it's mostly covered up, but she has this. We can give her the fluffy towel. Green fluffy towel, and she has this. You see, now with her, we can give her the... We can give her that. And then... There we go. So what color did I give her? Just black, right? Yeah, so black on that. Alright. And then, I think the only one left is Homura, right? Let's do Homura-san. Now, she looks good in the black uniform and stuff. Alright, choose an outfit. I mean, I guess we can give her that. Sleep shirt. Nah, that's okay. And then the shrine outfit, there we go. That's pretty perfect. Little thing. Shinobi mask. A hibiscus. Ah, a little flower, that's nice. Alright. Chapter 4. I want to kill her. What a mission name. This is a Homura focus. You are my brother's enemy. I can never forgive you. Fight me and be erased from history. Survive in 2 minutes? Why is this one like a special mission and not the other one? Defeat Haruka. Of evil and friendship. Alright, let's do this other one and see what that one's all about. Is there dialogue on that one, or is it just fighting? Survive for 2 minutes. No, okay. Survive until time runs out. Alright, that's a big boy robot. It's only 2 minutes. So I guess this is Komichi's sister sending all the enemies our way. And I guess I gotta look out for that one. Yeah, okay, I see. The big enemy is this one. Alright, we just gotta be careful and look out for that big robot man. Remember that I can still transform, so I just need to be careful to not let my health run out. And then there's that high HP recovery low. If anything happens, we can just transform, but I doubt we're gonna need it. We're already tearing ass over here. There we go. Chop. Level up again. Doing good. I leveled up already in such a short amount of time. I wouldn't be surprised if they summon another one of those big-ass robots. So this is just technically an infinite level that just keeps going and going and going. It just runs... You have to wait for time to run out. So why does that snake have like 3 health bars? There we go. Boom. Another level up, alright. I think I found myself a good grinding spot. Okay, 14 seconds. We'll be okay. A strange amount of shield breaking with these enemies. Doing a lot of guarding. Is this really? I thought they were just gonna keep summoning more and more enemies, but this is kind of like... It's kind of the same little batch here that just never ended. There we go. Alright, what else you got? Level 11. Save. Alright, strange character-specific side mission to do there. That was just beating people up. And, done. Alright, so we're playing as Homura again, and we have to defeat Haruka. Homura, you seem to be struggling. You shouldn't live so recklessly. I'll help you wake up. Okay.
Homura-chan, Hibariが持ってきた半蔵の超秘伝忍法書は? あれなら道元が持っていった。
Oh god, why?
蛇女の本部で保管するらしい。
Why let him have anything?
ほんと、ひばりのお手柄よね。さ、ひばりと一緒にスイーツでも食べに行こうかしら。おい、はるか。今はそんな時か?
Yeah.
超秘伝忍法書を取り戻しに、半蔵の連中が攻めてくるとは思わないのか?
Hanzo students like Hibari are going to attempt to get back the scroll?
大丈夫。もし半蔵が攻めてきたとしても、私とひばりでちょいのちょいだから。
She's just your little doll, huh?
はるか、蛇女の生徒は慣れ合わない仲間ではなかったのか?
Hebiju students, comrades you can never trust.
私とひばりは慣れ合ってないわよ。超仲良しなだけ。
You're not married, but you certainly act like you are.
しかし、何よ。私の強さが不安ってこと？いいわ。だったら試してみなさいよ。ひばりとラブラブになっても腕は鈍ってないから。
Love. Even though we're head over heels in love, I wouldn't hamper my skills. I get the feeling that this is a little one-sided.
いいだろう。相手になってやる。
Of course, regardless of the context, Homura's never gonna say no to a fight. She's like, hell yeah. I'm gonna kick butt. Ooh, what's this song? Let go! Yeah, this song's weird. And more beating people up. Oh, a lot of milk cartons floating around. Level up. There we go. Way. There we go. I'm kind of just vibing to the music right now. I'm liking it. Alright, I do kind of want this to go a little faster. Let's just do it for the sake of... time. There we go. It's a great song, I don't blame you. Yeah, I kind of just want to listen to it for a bit. Stop poisoning me! There we go. You gotta build up a little bit of meter. Say goodbye to your coat. Thank God. Shush! I like that the coat is just like a solid object. It doesn't fold or anything. It just spins and clips to the ground. There we go, you're almost dead. No aerial ninja arts yet. We're on chapter 4 and still no aerial arts. Oh, owie. Bah, 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 bah. Wee. What? You just fell on your bottom. Oh lord, I happen to have... I fell in me bottom. That looks like a spring. Kinda. It looks like a funnel. Well then, I let my guard down. What are you doing? Dive kicking me. Hey, now you're copying Hibari's move with the butt bounce. Alright. Get ready to die. See ya. That was great. Alright. With the tongue out and everything. Beep. There we go. Given the BFF factor rest. Oh, deviating attention from herself and exposing all the other people. Nani? And Hikage is kind of chummy with Katsuragi too. Friends outside the office. Yeah, they get in the way of getting stronger, with the exception of all of the friends that you have here in Heavy Jail. But like, you just frame it in a different way, comrades that you can never trust. You're just changing the name to the same thing. Now how does Haruka know that Yomi's friends with Ikariga? I mean, whatever, the excuse is always, we're shinobi, we're everywhere. You never know where we can be. I'm hungry. I'm always hungry. Friends or strength, which is more important? I have no idea. Not having emotions makes it a mystery to me. Alright. It's all well and good to have friends, but Hibari will never be among them. I wonder if me being friends with Ikariga is a problem. What's going on? Why can't everyone just try and get along? Homura is very stubborn. You can be strong and still have friends. In fact, I think having friends makes one stronger. Said Haruka to Homura, straight to her face. Let's see, what does Suzune-sensei think? Strength and friendship, these are not matters in which I can guide you. You must find the answers for yourself. Oh, thank you, teacher. Friends. What use are they when you're just trying to get stronger? I don't know, let's keep going. We're on mission 4, so we're halfway there. 4 out of 8. Battleground, defeat Homura. So who are we? We're Haruka, so now it's the other way around. Don't get carried away, Haruka. Comrades are just to enhance our own skills. Friendship is all child's play. What the hell's the difference? Again, you're just changing the name to the same thing, so like... You're just drawing lines in the sand. Making these like arbitrary differences that don't make any sense. Yeah, having people around you is good when it benefits you, but in this other context... That's not that different. Is like, oh no, it's horrible, don't do that. What doesn't kill me. Oh god, Dogen. Elite members are at each other's throats. Alright, the deep voice of the suited man echoes through the shinobi room. He is a tall, solidly built man named Dogen. He's one of Hebijo's biggest investors. I look around at the others, but they look away. Dogen's expression grows severe as he realizes that no answers are coming. Though Hebijo's investors are many and varied, most of the money comes from big business. When they need to resolve business matters that aren't exactly above board, they often make use of Hibijo alumni to handle it behind the scenes. On rare occasions, Dogen himself will work with the evil shinobi in training, so yeah. Saying that Dogen himself is a shinobi. He's actually putting the money into the school to compare to the big corporations, except it's apparently all from his personal finances. Oh, it's about as big as Apple. Who is he? And what is he planning? He has an uncomfortable presence, but he is a valued sponsor, so there's no room to complain. Since no one else is answering, he picks me. I can only answer from observation. The team was split into 2 groups in the ninja room. One group consists of myself, Hibari, and Yomi. I love the expressions here. The others, Homura, Hikage, and Mirai. I mean, I don't know. It looks like Hikage doesn't really want to be involved at all. She just doesn't want to hear it. And then Suzune is just like sitting there in the middle, just annoyed. One school of thought that values friendship in spite of being shinobi. One school of thought that prizes the acquisition of power over all else. At some point, we were split right down the middle. It literally doesn't make any goddamn sense for why you would ever want to have a school of thought that prizes power over everything else when everybody has had experiences with the Hanzo school and realized that they weren't that bad and that they could get along and stuff. The only one that hasn't experienced that yet is just Homura. It's literally just Homura, but like Mirai, even within the Hibijo school, she has found the value of having other people around. Literally, her biggest story point is running away so that she doesn't run the risk of hurting them. So like, why would she be on Homura's side at all, right? So does Hikage, because she's hung around with Katsuragi before, right? It literally should be everybody in Hibijo versus Homura. It doesn't make sense that it's split in 2. Like right down the middle. Master Suzune stands between the 2 groups, grim-faced, arms folded. I don't think she's particularly thrilled to have to mediate this disagreement. My heart aches. I never thought something like this might happen among my friends, my housemates. Sure. The fucking meat-headed, the meat-headed school with the meat-headed ideology of let's just beat the shit out of each other and whoever wins gets to decide. Homura grins at Dogen's proposal. No more sleeping with the enemy? That's assuming that they even are the enemy. Other people told you that they're the enemy, but like, yeah. Shut your mouth, newbie? I mean, you're kind of a newbie too. The moment Hibari begins to speak, Mirai snaps at her.
でも対抗戦望むところだよ
Hmm.
私があんたをギッタギタにしてやる
Dogen watches their argument with a keen eye. Master Suzune gives a disappointed sigh.
はるかどうする
Hibari and Yomi look expectantly at me. It looks like I've got the deciding vote. Might makes right. Winner takes all. How very appropriate for Heavy Joe. But I can't bring myself simply to go along with this. I have to say something. If this is appropriate for Heavy Joe, then what does it mean to be a Heavy Joe student? Circumstances with Hibari have gotten me thinking about my relationship with the school in general. Our goal is to become evil shinobi. The work of an evil shinobi isn't pretty and demands a lot of mental and physical conditioning. That keyword there, conditioning. That's it. An evil shinobi must be strong in body and mind. In which case, what Homura's saying is, at my silence, Master Suzune speaks up.
はるか少し話がある
Oh, a moment with her.
はいみんなは席を外してくれ
Everyone get out. No, we're not gonna move. You guys are gonna move. At her request, everyone silently shuffles out of the room. Dogen looks as though he's about to protest, but Master Suzune pays him no mind. When the others have left, Master Suzune folds her arms and looks at me quizzically.
はるか変わったなひばりが来てからいや3年生になった頃からか
I find myself unable to reply, and she gives me a thin-lipped smile.
昔のお前だったら私の教えた力で解決したはずだ
I let out a laugh in spite of myself. The first power she taught me, it was just before I was admitted to Heavy Joe. When I thought I was going to kill my parents. Okay. Look at this original picture that you never see again. I grew up in a wealthy doctor's family. We lived in a genuine, stately mansion, and all of my friends at school were green with envy. But no outside observer would be envious if they could see what I saw. My parents were human garbage. My mother's whole identity revolved around doting on me. Oh, great! Like mother, like daughter. You're exactly the same way. Anything I wanted was bought for me. I was trained almost non-stop, and anywhere I went, she came along as well. She had a particularly morbid fascination with Western-style clothes. She'd buy them by the truckloads, and dress me up like her own little living doll. We had a huge dressing room that was, as far as I was concerned, a torture chamber. Mother would always dress me and say, "Kawaii, how cute," or "Suteki, how beautiful." It was like being under a spell where I couldn't refuse her actions. Father, on the other hand, was rarely home. I knew he was having affairs, even though I was just a child. Oh, great, you're just like your dad, too. You're like the perfect blend of your mom and your dad. You're horny and sexual and everything, just like your dad. And you're like a doting, controlling person that just like obsesses over cute things, just like your mom. Awesome. You're the thing that you hate. I knew he was having affairs with him, though, just a child. Because of that, my mother directed all of her feelings at me. In other words, you might say that my father's the one who drove my mother crazy. Really, her mom used her as copium for her dad cheating on her all the time. Father was a world-renowned physician, but the fact is, he'd financially covered up a shocking amount of malpractice on his part. To make matters worse, the money he used was from multiple tax evasions, so yeah, I think human garbage is an accurate description. I can only tolerate so much from them. It was around middle school when my ego finally exploded. It was late one night, when both of them were actually home. Somehow I found myself standing on the front of the house holding a lighter and a can of kerosene. I'm going to burn it all and end this. Once it's all over, I can be free. Calmly and unaffectedly, I began pouring the kerosene on the doorstep. I flicked the lighter when it happened. The lighter in my hand disappeared. Suzune's voice. I turned around in confusion to see a woman in a red parka standing there. In a red parka? She held my lighter in her hand. When had she managed to take it? She walked past me, her long hair fluttering in the wind. It was all I could do, just to follow her in silence. When oh, this is like a level in Shin Megami Tensei 4. I wonder what she looks like here. I mean, obviously they're describing her, but I would actually like to see her here. Red parka, long flowing hair, what the hell? When she approached the park, she tossed the lighter back to me. I managed to catch the lighter in my hands. A teacher. I was somehow a little disappointed. Teachers don't get involved in household problems. I remember this being pretty dark in the anime. Yeah, this is one of the few things that they actually do show in the anime. Outside of a television, they're good for nothing other than a lot of meaningless babble. She looked at me coldly. That wasn't a look you'd get from just any teacher. What now? Her words caught me off guard. Killing my parents, burning down my house, wouldn't make me feel any better. Even if my parents were to vanish, it wouldn't break the chain clinging to my heart. All I'd be left with would be the guilt, at being in worse shape than ever. But what am I supposed to do? How else was I going to get away? After a moment's consideration, there was only one possible outcome, miserable as it was. I see. It's impossible. I can't escape. Not from my parents. Not from that house. Nothing I did would get me out of that hell. I realized I'd been crying. Genuinely soaking myself in my tears. After a while, I managed to stop crying, and Master Suzune silently held out a handkerchief. I couldn't do anything but take the handkerchief and stare at her in naked confusion. A few months later, my father turned himself into the police, confessing both his tax evasions and medical malpractices. Master Suzune had taught me the art of puppet mastery, and I had manipulated him into his actions. Damn. He lost most of his fortune, and his mistresses soon followed. I wasn't really sure if I should attempt to fix my relationship with my mother. I gave her a chance to start things over. No matter how loathsome, they were my parents after all. I decided to enroll in clandestine Hebijo Academy. Obviously my parents couldn't know, and upon entering I decided to leave the house. Getting into Hebijo was easy, since I had already learned the rather difficult art of puppet mastery. I was already advanced for a new student. This I owed to Master Suzune's rigorous coaching. Thanks to her, my heart was freed, and I was able to move ahead on my new path. I'm truly grateful to her. Master Suzune is my mentor. So it means a lot for Suzune to, like, talk to Haruka directly and then pull her along to talk in private. Master Suzune stands in the ninja room awaiting my response. Yeah, no, and it's not something that stays forever, right? It eventually wears off and they'll be themselves again. You can't just keep controlling them forever. Her mouth twists at my words. She wears a cool smile, just like the one she flashed at me when we first met. There we go. Master Suzune claps me on the shoulder and leaves the room. The old me would use puppetry to solve all my problems, but I was only controlling my opponent's emotions, and the results would be a little different than I would have hoped for in my heart. The real resolution involves clashing to understand each other. I could never reach that point with my parents, but my fellow elites would surely be able to reciprocate. We should be able to understand each other absolutely. And that's why we'll fight as hard as I can in the battle. Homura, Hikage, Mirai. Because I'll be fighting for my life. Please accept how I feel. There we go. Pretty good. Yeah, obviously. Revenge for getting your butt whooped before? Oh man, as anime as it gets, friendship this, friendship that, all the time.
助けはしてくれなくても心を支えてくれる。それが仲間よ。
Yeah, moral support. They're not just some weapon or power up or whatever. There's something, you know, that puts a spring in your step.
そんな支えがなくても強いものは強い。鍛え上げた力と技こそが支えとなるんだ。
Yeah, very individual. Tsuyoi tsuyoi. That's it.
だったら戦ってはっきりさせるまでね。
Alright then, let's see.
望むところだ。
ちょっと待って。どうせ戦うのなら、ホムラちゃん、あなたの小部隊も一緒に相手をしてあげるわ。
I'll let you have the members fight alongside you. Oh, so like have all of your little goons so that we can have NPCs and like little characters to fight. Little snakes and wooden dolls.
なんだと？勝負は1対1のはずだ。
But she's like, nah, I can fuck you up and all of your cronies.
ただ1対1で勝つだけじゃ、ホムラちゃんは仲間の大切さを理解しないでしょ。
You wouldn't learn anything about the value of having friends, would you?
だからといって1人対多数じゃ勝負にならん。
Oh god, you love making up rules, huh? I know it's a really small detail, but do you like these Hebiju uniforms with the exposed stomachs or the long sleeve ones in Shinobi Masters? The more skin you expose, the better for me. I think out of all of the New Link uniforms that they made for the girls, which were obviously made to cover them up more because they were making a game for the App Store and for Google Play, and they are absolute nannies when it comes to sexual stuff. And so I don't want to say that they censored it, but they like redesigned it so that it can cover them up more. And they said, okay, might as well, now that we're doing this, might as well have like a totally like new redesigned uniforms. And all of them look really cool. My favorite uniforms are actually the new Hebijo ones. Like the black one that almost look like military kind of uniforms. Those look badass. I like those. They look almost like Azure Lane uniforms or something. But I really do like the Crimson Squad uniforms because they're not really uniforms. They're renegades, right? They're not a part of a school anymore, so they can kind of just wear whatever they want, right? And so they have like almost like gangster like sweatshirts, you know? They're wearing almost like gym clothing, like breakdancer, street breakdancer clothing. And I really like the version that Homura has, where like she doesn't have the jacket, or like it's an open jacket so you can see like the sports bra underneath, and I think is really cool. I think everybody should be able to have a version like that, and not just Homura. But I do like both uniforms, and of course they all have their own little touch. Obviously, Hikage has like the torn one that shows off more skin, and then Homura has like the default one, and Mirai's one is like super long that doesn't show a lot of skin because she's really insecure about that. And then the new Crimson Squad outfits, they all have their little touches too, right? Homura has like the open one, and then like Mirai has like the hoodie, stuff like that. I think they're fine. I like both just fine. I wish there was a third app store that tells censorship to fuck off so we can get New Link in English. Well, there's DMM Games, but DMM Games is Japan only. And you have to get a Japanese... You gotta get a VPN and change your location to, like, Japan. And then get on DMM Games, and then download it, and then play it. And that's still the Japanese version. Is not there's no English version planned. And honestly, I don't think there ever will be, because of the fan service, mostly. If New Link gets like a global release, I will be shocked. I will actually be shocked. Azure Lane has several types of uniforms, Royal Navy, Soccer Empire. Yeah, I know. You're gonna don't roll off the entire fucking Wikipedia in the chat. I know you know. All you got is Apple's App Store and Google Play. Yeah, they're the two big ones that are monopolizing the entire market. And you know, their store, their rules, whatever they say goes, right? So you can't really fight them, because if you're not on those two stores, you don't really succeed all that much. Now, if you go to DMM Games, there is a version of New Link that has less censorship on it. There's like more nudity, and the pictures show off more skin and stuff like that, but it's very, very slight. It's not that different. And again, it's still in Japanese. And on top of that, if you play it on DMM Games through PC, it runs freaking BlueStacks, and it sucks playing it that way. It's like so slow, the frame rate is terrible. There are many times where like you can hear the game play, but like on screen nothing shows up. It's still like crappy, you know, it's just not playable. The best way for you to play it is to play it on your phone, whether it's an iPhone or an Android, and then just stream it out through there. Slightly political, but I thought Ted Roosevelt made Monopoly illegal. A lot of companies don't really seem to care. Yeah, but who gives a shit when there's money to be made? And also remember, there's a lot of paperwork and technicality and stuff, you know. A lot of wording that's like, well, we're not monopolizing because, you know, here's this other competition and here's this other competition and they're doing great. You know? I don't know. There's always little loopholes and little technicalities that can be said, and yeah. And, you know, Apple and all that stuff is not technically a monopoly, but, like, you know, it feels like one when they're the end-all be-all of everything, and, you know, their rules decide what gets and what doesn't get to be there. Maybe monopoly is not the right word, but, you know, there's a handful of brands that control everything, and that doesn't allow other things to kind of grow. Because if there's something that is successful, Apple either, you know, buys it out, or they copy the same thing so that they don't succeed, and Apple succeeds, right? It's like the AirTags. There was a company that was already doing AirTags, but then, like, they copied it and they did it, and so now the AirTag people might go out of business. The actual AirTag people and not the Apple AirTag thing. It's a long and complicated thing. It's not something that I can just tell you off the cuff on a live stream. I recommend you go watch MKBHD's Apple-related videos, and he'll talk much better about it than I do. I'm not very well-versed in the tech world, as I should be, probably. But yeah, there's a lot of, like, you know, storefronts that are the end-all, be-all, and so whatever rules they have is what everybody else has to abide by. And it just makes it harder for more adult-rated stuff. Obviously, if you're a super-duper big brand, and you want to have everyone's money, which includes kids, and includes, you know, people that are a little bit more conservative about the kind of content that they want, and people that get really uppity about sexual stuff or violent stuff, you don't want to lose out on that money. So, you change the rules to make things safer and more appropriate. And instead of saying, we want money from a wider scope of people, and if this is not what they like, then we'll just change it so that that doesn't exist and make them happy so that we can keep making more money. They can be honest and say that, but no, instead they have to make it a moral thing about, like, safety and protecting children and stuff like that when, you know, you already have a rating system that protects them from that. But oh well. The Milkman is here. Hello, Milkman. Where the hell's my milk? Jesus Christ, I joined the stream, but she has so many swords. What do those two things have anything to do with one another? Are you gonna leave because she has too many swords? I joined the stream, but she has so many swords. Would you join the stream if she didn't have that many swords? I don't see how one half of the sentence connects with the other. You said to use a VPN that you pay for, like Nordic Express, because free VPNs are shady. I said that? When did I say that? I mean, I do recommend that you pay for VPNs because the free ones, as far as I know, people have said that have, like, viruses and stuff, and they have malware or whatever, so yeah. I know that there's some, like, open source, free and open source VPNs out there that are free, but by the time I found that out, I was already paying for, like, NordVPN. I had this, like, 3-year plan or whatever, so that's a surefire way, and if you want to get it for cheap, there's a bunch of YouTubers that are sponsored by ExpressVPN and NordVPN, so you're probably going to get a good deal by just going to some random YouTube channel and seeing who's being sponsored by them. So yeah. And a lot of the deals were for like 3 years, 2 years, 3 years. How might I be serious business? There we go. You're the bold one. Ooh. Alright. Now that I lost my coat, I need to get serious because I'm actually dying. There we go. Blah, blah, blah. There we go. Keep beating you up. I can't give myself even a second to stop and take in the roses because... Up. Oh, I prefer Haruka's way than having the lame puppet. What do you mean the lame puppet? I don't know. I don't know of Haruka ever having a lame puppet. Do you mean the robot? In which case, I disagree completely. I don't think it's a lame puppet at all. But I do like having at least one game where she fights on her own, instead of having something else fight for her. Oh, gosh. Oh, gosh. I can't take it anymore. Yeah, I don't think I can either. There we go. Now it's your turn to get stripped. Enough of me getting annihilated. Now it's your turn. Bah! Take that. All of you other guys, leave me alone. I mean, the robot, I disagree completely. I don't think that robot is lame at all. You better get a move on? What do you mean get a move on? There's nothing else I can do to get a move on. I'm fighting. There we go. I'm fighting her as hard as I can. It's just hard because there's a lot of really tough enemies surrounding her. And she's really bullet spongy. She has a lot of health. Boom, 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 boom. Doi. Doi, there we go. Blah, 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 blah. Alright. Just one final attack and boom! You're dead. Get out of here. Did it. This is as far as I go. I think out of all of the girls that have been stripped in this game, Haruka's probably the best one because she's just wearing that. It's just underwear. It's not like the other girls where like you can still see a lot of the uniforms be ripped off and stuff. There's still stuff covering them. There we go. I got an A as I fucking should. I wonder how she feels. I find it surprising that there hasn't been any character development in terms of Haruka getting called out, or with the fact that she hates her parents so much, but she is literally the amalgamation of both combined. She's horny and promiscuous just like her dad, and she's like doting and loves cute things like her mom. Like that's something that like the Yoma version, right? Like the evil version of Haruka would like, you know, confront her with, but like nobody really says that about her at all. Probably because they don't know her backstory, right? But there's never been any self-reflection regarding that. Alright, is this a new ninja art? Oh, LX. Alright, no aerials? There we go. It was about time. It took forever for us to learn that. I guess it was our level, right? I think with the aerials, we gotta be a certain level. New music track, new everything. Yeah, you don't have to go that far. Yeah, in terms of stubbornness as well.
仲間の存在で精神力が増すのは確からしい。遥かの言葉は一理ある。
だったらこうしない？強さも大事、仲間も大事。
We all win.
両方大事ってことで。
そうだな。
Yeah, that could have been easier to figure out than having to fight each other.
それでいい。
よかった。それじゃ、これで仲直りね。
What about everyone else though?
決めたわよ。
I think Mirai fights Hibari. Yomi fights Hikage. Oh wait, is there new dialogue? My opponent will be Hikage. A tournament? I better work hard. I swear I'm not gonna lose. I expect this tournament to be good motivation for you. Say, when does this turn into a tournament? I didn't hear about this. Put forth your best effort. Okay, suddenly it's a tournament. And Haruka versus Homura was like the opener, I guess. Friends get in the way of power. There's nothing, that's nothing more than an excuse. I obviously still have a lot of training to do. Alright, we have been streaming for an hour 54, and I think we just unlocked chapter 5 at the Fayomi. No, we're still in chapter 4. That makes sense. Yeah, we're gonna have to fight more characters. Should I keep going? To me, what is friendship? I still don't quite get it, but I'm pretty sure these things can be explained. Let's do one more. This will be the last one.
私の相手は日陰さんですか？
まあ、そういうことやな。
そういうことやな。
日陰さんはどうして仲間を否定するのです？
別に否定してるわけやないけど。
Yeah, it's like, why would you be against it?
だって強さを追求するグループにいるじゃないですか。
I don't know.
わしは感情がないからの。仲間が大事とかよくわからんのや。仲間に比べれば強さの方がわかりやすい。それでホムラさんの方におるってわけや。
THP, do you say you were gonna get Neptunia cross SK? I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking that after I'm done playing Burst, I'm probably gonna play that. Just to keep the fan service train going, now that I got you guys' attention. I think it's a good holdover until the next game. I don't know if I'd say good, but it's definitely a holdover. But that's why I'm playing that game. That's why I'm gonna buy it. So that I can get the answer to that question. I think I already have the answer, but I'm gonna play it anyway, because I'm never gonna know for sure until I actually play like a good 10 hours of that. Man.
なるほど。わかりました。大した理由はないのですね。
Yeah, it's barely a reason. You literally just said, I can't think for myself, so I just chose the side.
ただの強さには数も入ると思うんや。この勝負、わしの勝負隊も参加させてもらうで。
別に構いません。相手が何人来ようと、この勝負、負けるわけにはいきません。
Alright, here we go. Facing off against each other. Gives you flashbacks of the time that they met. Let's get this over with. Oh wait, so we got Hikage in here, but we're also gonna have a bunch of goons. A bunch of goonies. Bring them on. I don't care. Do your worst. There we go, we're annihilating them. It's good for us to hit the normal enemies because... There we go. Alright, there we go. Let's just... I feel like I might die, actually. I might not be prepared for this. But that's why they gave me the milk cartons, right? There we go, and I leveled up. Cool. We just have to be strategic. We have to be strategic and just know when to turn around, when to do certain attacks. Oh, you threw your knife. You threw Hinata into the wind. Hey, there we go. Can't run away from me forever. What the heck's going on here? Your clothes are coming apart. Oy, 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 oy. There we go. And I'll include everyone else in this. Oh, that didn't reach Hikage. Ikude. I underestimated you. Hold on, there's some milk down there. There's some milk down there. Milk, 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 milk. Gimme, 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 gimme. Shit, 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 shit. Ooh, there we go. There we go. Fuck off. Ooh. Ah, stop interrupting my attacks, you motherfuckers. That wasn't fair. I got ganked. Come on, like 5 of them attacked me all at once. That was bullshit. I call bullcrap on that one. They all just ganged up on me. Gosh. Here I was thinking I wasn't gonna waste my time. Now I gotta do it all over again. Awesome. I love saying that things will go quick and then they don't. Alright. Maybe we're not gonna go frantic this time. Which means that the mission is gonna take a lot longer, but hey. Alright, let's go. You wanna do it slow? Then let's fucking do it slow. And even then, I'm still getting my butt whooped. My level up still stays though, right? I leveled up like 2 or 3 times, so that should still be... That should still be in place. I can't see what's happening. There's so many enemies ganging up on me. Ah, you see, I get stun locked and I can't do anything. They keep stun locking me. There we go. Very, very slowly, but at least I'm gonna keep leveling up. Yeah, I think maybe we're starting to reach the point where maybe a little bit of grinding might do us good. Because this is taking a while. We might be a little under-leveled for this. Yeah, looking at how small my health bar is, and how my combos are so short, I'm thinking that, yeah, maybe I gotta go and grind a bit. Ah! They're not letting me move at all. Oh my god. Jesus, why is this so hard? So why is the bunny suit a swimsuit and not a transformation outfit? Doesn't make sense to me. Oh, you motherfucker, stop, 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 stop! There's nothing I can do other than, like, the limit break, which takes away health. There we go. There we go. Fuck off. Do I have my aerial? Ah, I didn't want to do that. There we go, I leveled up again. Yeah, by this point I should have it, but it just doesn't unlock until this level is over. There we go. Ah, you shitter. There we go. Alright, you're almost dead. Boom, 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 boom. There we go. That's not gonna hit anybody. Great. What a great use of my meter. There we go. Go for it. Boom. Alright. They're very generous with the level ups. I need it. They've been whooping my butt. I'm kind of glad because I probably wouldn't be able to get by without him. There we go. This is the end. Turn your jeans into booty shorts. You're brought up differently. We got it. B. B for barely made it. Yeah, I got the strong ninja art. And I don't even have the aerial. I guess I gotta be level 15 or something for that. Gotta get higher in level. Oh.
全力の日陰さんと戦ったら私も無事では済まないはずです。どうしてですか？どうして手を抜いたのですか？
仲間を大事にできんやつより仲間を大事にできるやつが勝った方がいいと思ったんや。そんなこと考えとったらちょっと隙ができてしまったっちゅうわけや。
Right, you ended up agreeing by the end of it.
日陰さん。
いずれにしてもヨミさんの勝ちは勝ちや。
日陰さん、私にはあなたが感情がないとは思えません。
There we go. She wouldn't be the first person to claim that.
そうか。そう言ってくれるとなんか嬉しい気もすんな。
Well, that's nice to hear. Ureshi. Makes me happy to hear you say that.
決めましたわ。
Well, that's all she can say. Alright. We saved, and now we're out of here.
おかえり。
And we're not done yet, right? So who are we going for next? Who is this? Mirai? Defeat Hibari. Mariah is no match for me. That's because I'm strong. I'm gonna lose to someone who's worried about boobs, says Hibari. Yeah, very, un-Hibari-like. Marie's scary. I wish I had such a problem with me. I'm going to kick some ass. Next up is Hibari versus Mariah. I wonder which of them will win. Looks like Yomi and Hikage are done fighting. I expect this experience will help us all to grow. Emotions, maybe even I. To fight against a former Hanzo, this should be quite illuminating for Mariah, I expect. It's funny hearing her talk about emotions, Hikage, I mean. Because, like in Estival versus, she gets called out by Imu about her emotions, and Hikage just denies it. So he says, Hikage's like, stop saying that or you're really gonna hurt my feelings. Yeah, it just gets really weird. It gets really Looney Tunesy after a while. Alright. I'm done playing. I'm done playing Burst, at least, specifically. Technically, it could have worked today, but I was just not. I've been working, like, all day and all night for, like, this entire week, and so I decided to take the day off today. So I think, I'm definitely gonna eat, because I'm hungry, although there's no food in the fridge. I'm gonna have to improvise and make myself something with whatever's lying around. I could go and eat out, but, it's 10 p.m., it's late, it's dark and cold and scary, and I don't know. Kinda don't feel like doing that. There's a bunch of games that I want to finish and record footage for that I have not given myself the time to do. I've said this a million times, but Resident Evil 4 in VR I haven't done yet. Because just the setup for it is annoying. But I was also waiting for my extension cable for the audio. Because as I said, the audio cable was really, really short and I was having a lot of trouble playing that way. But my extension cable from Amazon finally came. It finally got delivered. And so I might take some time to actually test that out and see how well it works. And then if everything looks to be in order, then not only can I stream, not only can I record myself play RE4, but I can also stream myself more often playing VR games. I don't know how much that interests you guys, because I'm not looking at the chat or whatever. But, you know, I got that going on right now. Another one is Shin Megami Tensei 5, which, as I said, I am no longer playing on stream. I'm just playing that on my own time. And I have not been able to get back into it. I just haven't had the time. But yeah, I might get back into it tonight. After I'm done eating, I might spend some time. And then what else? Dragon Quest XI is a game that I was playing almost on the daily. But there was a point where I kind of got stuck. And that's another one of those where, like, as I play, I record footage. And so sometimes I get lazy with OBS and I don't turn it on, or it crashes, and yeah, sometimes I just don't. I don't play it because I don't set up for it. And that's a game that I definitely want to make a video on. And so I can't play it without recording it at the same time. And it's not like Let's Play style, it's just me just playing through it. And now that I have this microphone, and because it's so easy for me to just clip it on and go, then I'm thinking of just adding commentary as well if I am ever so inclined. You know, it is very much a just in case I have something to say at the heat of the moment kind of thing. Now, one thing that I do want to do is definitely have my keyboard here, so that I can just type up whatever thoughts I have as I play, because there's definitely, like, small little details that come up as I play that I definitely forget about when I think about the game after the fact, right? After the fact, you think about it in general terms, right? It's good because it has this, and it has this, and it has that, right? But when it comes to criticisms and really analyzing the game, there's a bunch of smaller in-between things and lines of text and little button presses that you remember, that, you know, the only way that you can, like, remember them and retain them is by, like, just typing them up and writing about them the second you see it, you know? It's not really stuff that you can remember off the cuff. There's another game that I was thinking of getting called Medal of Honor. There's a VR Medal of Honor game where people are really mixed on it. Some people love it, some people hate it. I was always really enamored by a Call of Duty style single-player campaign, World War II kind of thing. I've always liked that idea, and people like it enough for me. It's like, okay, yeah, maybe I'll get it. But the problem was that the game was $60 on Steam, and I didn't want to spend that much. And apparently, like, the memory for that game is like 130 gigs or whatever to download it, and it was too much, and that discouraged me. And on top of that, the graphics are apparently, like, super advanced, and you gotta have the beefiest PC ever to be able to run it. And so that also stopped me. And so now I might actually get it because, number one, Oculus gave me a coupon for me to be able to get a discount, like a 30% discount on that game, or on any game, right? Just put the discount code and you get a 30% discount. So it's a $40 game, right? And I get, what, like, for some reason, no, $30? I forget the price of it. The discounted price was like $27. And so I thought that was a pretty good price, all things considered. $27 for that kind of game on Oculus Quest 2 exclusively. And that's not 130 gigs, but it is like 60 something. It's a big chunky game. And so I said, if I'm gonna play it, then I'm gonna do a test with Resident Evil 4, advance with that, make sure the audio is working and all that stuff. And then, you know, I'm not super cheap as I was before because, you know, now that I'm working and I'm making my own money here, then I feel like, you know, I can maybe spend a little bit of money on some games. I really have steered away from spending too much on games as of late. This is why I've been spending most of my time playing older stuff. But when it comes to that Medal of Honor game, I'm interested enough that I kind of want to take the leap and play it. Especially when it's on Quest 2 and it'll just run fine. Just straight out of the headset as opposed to playing it on PC. And, you know, there are so many simple, incredibly easy games that are like 300 megabytes, right? They don't even take up a lot of memory and stuff. And it's such a struggle for me to get VR games to play on PC. And then, like, even if they do run, like, the frame rate is not great. So, like, for me, the Oculus Quest 2 has been like my VR device, you know? Because it just runs everything great. And I feel like if I want to keep doing VR stuff from PC, out of a PC, then I have to like just upgrade my PC, get better specs, or just get a wholly new one that has like much better stuff. But I don't have the money for that right now, so right now my Oculus Quest is like my VR machine. And now that I've found a way to like record stuff for it, then I'm good. Alright, I kind of just stood here, assuming that like who's this guy, Hypno? I figured he would like want to start talking and ask questions and stuff, but he might have peaced out. Good stream, man. Thank you. Tomorrow's Sunday, so it is very, very likely that I will not be streaming tomorrow. I want to give myself breaks from the streams. I don't want to burn myself out. I don't want to be doing it every single day. Because there are some things that I need to do in my personal life. And, you know, streaming kind of takes away from that. And, yeah, I don't want to necessarily get too tired of this, so I'm taking a break on Sunday. You guys go do whatever you guys want, and then on Monday I'll see you guys with more Senran Kagura. And so whenever I have time, I'll play other games as well. I did say I was gonna take the day off and not really work a whole lot today on my job thingy. But I'm seeing a project here that I can maybe do. So maybe I'll get some food, play a live stream or something, and maybe just whack this out, because this is something that I might not want to miss out on. Okay. Well, thank you very much, everybody, for coming. I'll see you guys next time, and I'll go and scavenge the kitchen and see what the hell I can eat, because we're running out of food, and I have to go do some groceries. Maybe tomorrow. So yeah. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye.